What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So here we are. The Vincent Price Legacy documentary features Rob Zombie, John Dante, John Landis, Alice Cooper, and more. And not only do we have an updated article for this, we also have a trailer to highlight this documentary. I've said this before, I enjoy documentaries of all types, not just cinema and horror, but historical documentaries as well. I don't know what it is, I love seeing them, especially when real life footage, interviews of people who have lived whatever the topic is or experienced it, whatever. I think it just adds a little bit more to it. And it really, and depending upon the topic, especially if it's something that's tragic, it really makes you wonder how they lived through, that particular event. Now for this, if you don't know who Vincent Price is, I'd be shocked, especially if you're a horror fan. You definitely have heard the name, and I would imagine you have seen at least one Vincent Price film. I can't imagine you haven't. And if you haven't, then I'd suggest after this you go Google Vincent Price movies and go start watching them. I think he is one of those, as I just mentioned on a video that we did regarding Jaws at 50. It's the 50th year anniversary for Jaws. And I mentioned, and we've talked about like the Mount Rushmore of horror. And I've said this before, many people have said this before, when you think about Mount Rushmore, many people always throw out Leatherface, Freddy, Michael, Jason, Chucky. Many people are starting to throw out Ghostface now as that Mount Rushmore. I mentioned in the horror news update for Jaws at 50. Why isn't the shark, part of that conversation? It was such an iconic movie for horror, especially for that franchise. It was such a cultural film as well. Why isn't Vincent Price, just Vincent Price, considered as a Mount Rushmore icon, right, when it comes to horror? And I think it should, and I think he should be. I think he did a lot for horror. I think a lot of people still fall back on a lot of the work that he's done. I think a lot of people still, even in today, use a lot of what he did as a way to influence them, to guide them as far as their projects, whether they want to say it or not. I think a lot can be found from what he did across his complete catalog of work into what we see in horror today, right? So I think Vincent Price should be in that same conversation, right? When you think about the Mount Rushmore of horror, I think he should be in that conversation. So let's jump into these article details. Then we're going to pull up the trailer for this documentary. Vincent Price is a name that echoes through the halls of classic horror. With his distinctive voice, sharp features, and inimitable flair for theatrical finesse, he left his mark on generations of filmmakers, actors, artists, and movie fans. The Vincent Price Legacy, billed as the world's first feature-length documentary about the master of menace, explores the man behind the legend through conversations with his family, friends, colleagues, historians, and fans. It features interviews with Prince's daughter, Price. I said Prince. It features interviews with Price's daughter, Victoria Price, and then goes on the list various filmmakers and others as far as their takes on Vincent Price. The lineup also includes actors. Again, we go on and on. David Dismachian, Elizabeth Shepard, Steve Johnson, go on and on. A little bit more. The German filmmaker Laurent Aschnick directs the 136 minute film, which is expected to debut in the fall. Victoria Price produces. All right, so that's the article. Not a lot of details about it. So I guess we're just gonna let the trailer speak for itself. I don't see, we do not have a date here on when this will release. It just mentions the time, how long it is, and just mentions how it's produced, and it's coming this fall. But we don't have an actual date when. So we'll keep an eye out for that. When we know more, we'll bring it back to you. But let's jump over to the trailer for this and see what it's about.
I'm going to give the people what they want. Sensation, horror, shock. Send them out in the streets to tell their friends how wonderful it is to be scared to death.
Just saying Vincent Price in relation to a horror film, everybody knew what you were talking about.
there was only one actor, and that was Vincent Price.
Growing up in the 70s, Vincent Price was everywhere.
Price became the poster child for cinema horror.
What he was this actor with one of the greatest voices of all time.
There became a thing called a Vincent Price picture.
I remember him saying, making the unbelievable believable.
Oh my God.
I've always looked to Vincent Price as somebody who inspires me to remember to always take the work seriously.
Every time that I watched a Vincent Price movie, it felt like he was a member of the family.
Come on, he's royalty.
Vincent will always be around.
Big of a star he was in such a strange way. He was his own thing unto himself.
Which made him into a horror icon.
I cannot imagine ever having worked with anyone as gifted than my friend Vincent was.
Price had such an extraordinary career. It's amazing.
He became part of the band.
He was an extraordinary figure.
Should Vincent Price show up from the dead, I would have to show him what he means to the world.
His heart touches the heart of others. You can't ask for more than that.
If you could drop him here right now and say, you've been gone 30 years and you are more popular than you have ever been. What's the truth and what would you have done differently? I'm gonna cry. That's the answer I need to hear.
So one thing I noticed at the end of that trailer, it mentioned right below the name that this was coming to theaters. So the article didn't mention a theatrical run. So I'm wondering if this is just going to be like select theaters, or if it's going to get a widespread limited release, and then they'll probably do like potentially VOD and digital the same day. Again, the article didn't mention it. All we know is it's coming this fall. So hopefully when we get that announcement on the date, that we will also know as far as is this a wide release, limited release, things of that nature. Because I can't wait to see this. Again, I love documentaries. I will, for me personally, and drop a comment in the comment section and let us know what your favorite Vincent Price film is. For me, 1959 House on Haunted Hill. Absolutely my favorite that he's done. Not to say that he didn't have other films that were better than that. I'm sure you can make an argument for that, but for me, the House on Haunted Hill, even the remake I enjoyed, but that original one from 1959 that he did is by far my favorite from him. So that's gonna do it for this horror news update. We're getting the official the Vincent Price Legacy documentary. 139 minutes, but it's coming this fall. We don't have a date yet, but once we do, we'll let you know. But drop a comment in the comment section. Let us know what you think about this. Let us know what your favorite Vincent Price film is, or if you don't have one, go watch one. Go watch some of his stuff, and then come back and let us know what you think of his work, because it's hard to believe he's been gone for 30 years. It's mind-boggling that it's been that long already. So again, drop a comment in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you at the next one. Later.